Hey team, how are we all? Thank you for joining. So obviously I was away this weekend. I was in West Palm Beach with a couple of the core students and another academy doing a coaching trip. So I think Brandon hosted the mental session. For those of you that did attend the weekend, this is going to be pure revision. So please, just because you attended at the weekend, don't necessarily just jump out. Please stay on and use this as revision. And for those of you that didn't attend, this is going to be a great way for you all to catch up. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to play a video that Brandon showed everyone. I asked him to show it. It's about 6 minutes long. So I'm going to share my screen and we're going to play this video. So as we play this video, I want you to think about not necessarily praising effort from an external standpoint. I want you to think about praising your own effort from an internal standpoint. The most important conversations that we have in life are the ones we have with ourselves. So yes, sometimes your parents might create an outcome focus. Yes, sometimes a coach might create an outcome focus. Yes, sometimes your school teachers might create an outcome focus. Friends generally talk about outcomes, not processes. Social media is full of outcomes, outcomes, outcomes. So when we think of our goals, our what, our how, and our why goals, one way that we can keep ourselves focused on our how is what we value ourselves, our definition of success. If our definition of success as an individual is the effort we put in and not necessarily the outcomes we obtain, then we're going to be able to focus on the how and focus on the process more. And over a long period of time, that's going to lead us to getting closer to our goals and dreams, as well as us being more efficient, happier, and more effective in moving towards our goals. I think someone is not on mute. If you can all just check, guys, if everyone is muted. And as soon as you've done that, I'm going to play this video. So this is a very, very important video. But again, take it from a standpoint. This isn't about other people. This is about you. This is about how this year, if you want to be focused on the process and not the outcome, this is more about how you're going to talk to yourself.
So check this out. Carol Dweck and her colleagues wanted to look into the impacts that praise had on children's development. So what they did is they took over 400 fifth grade students from all across the nation, and they did a really simple yet interesting study. Here's how it went down. They gave all the kids a really, really easy nonverbal IQ test. There were 10 questions, and at the end of the test, they praised all the children in one of two ways. The first group was praised for their intelligence. So they said, wow, great job. You must be really smart at this. Now the second group was praised for their effort. So they said, wow, great job. You must have worked really, really hard at this. Now this is a really subtle difference, but the impact it had is incredible. So after praising the kids and getting them divided up into the two groups, they gave them all an option for their next test. The first option was, hey, this next test is going to be a little bit harder, but it's going to be a great opportunity to learn and grow. Now, the second option was, this next test will be similar to the first, and you will surely do well on it. Now, the interesting thing is, out of the group that was praised for their intelligence, 67% of them chose the easier option, while 92% of the kids who were praised for their effort chose the harder test. This is unbelievable to think about, how just the subtle difference in the way that they were praised had such an impact. Carol Dweck explains why this happens.
Child or adult hears, oh, you think I'm brilliant and talented. That's why you admire me. That's why you value me. I better not do anything that will disprove this evaluation. As a result, they enter a fixed mindset, they play it safe in the future, and they limit the growth of their talents. Whereas focusing on the strategies they use, the way they're stretching themselves and taking on hard tasks, the intense practice they're doing, those are the kinds of things that say to a child or an older athlete, it's about the process of growth. As a result, they don't feel, oh, if I make a mistake, you want me to be talented. They think, oh, if I don't take on hard things and stick to them, I'm not going to grow.
Next, Dweck and her colleagues gave all the kids a really, really difficult test. It was one that they would surely fail, but they wanted to look at how the different kids attacked this challenge. Dweck noticed that the group that was praised for effort worked harder, longer, and actually enjoyed this test more than the group that was praised for their intelligence. This group got really frustrated with this test and had the tendency to give up early. After this artificially induced failure round, all of the kids were given a third and final test. Now, this test was the same level of difficulty as the first one, but check out the results. The group that was praised for their intelligence actually did worse on this test than the first one. Their average score actually dropped by 20%, while the group that was praised for their effort did significantly better, raising their average score by nearly 30%. This is a 50% difference in performance that was caused by a few subtle differences in the way that they were praised. This study shows how praise can either make or break a child's development. I mean, we all do it. We all want to be positive with the children we work with. So teachers, coaches, parents are always looking for ways to support their kids and tend to praise them quite a bit. So we need to look at research like this and realize, okay, praise is a good thing and there's nothing wrong with being positive, but we need to be very careful about praising someone's intelligence or abilities and focus more on the process and the effort that they put forth. I think this is a pretty easy fix that will help us develop growth mindsets within the kids that we work with. And as all the research shows, having a growth mindset has a big time impact on the development of a child, whether it's on the court, in the classroom, or just in life. Thanks so much for following along and watching this video. For more like this, visit championshipbasketballschool.com.
Guys, can you all just check if your phones are on mute? That'd be awesome. Or your screens are on mute. That'd be great. So I'm going to share my screen again, but this time I'm going to go to the whiteboard. And again, that video not quite directly correlated to what we've been working on, but very, very, very relevant and linked when we start to think about how we're going to talk to ourselves, our self-talk regarding our goals. So very quick review, and most of you hopefully are starting to achieve this now, to evolve this. When we set a goal, there's 3 components. So hopefully in your mind, you're saying, yes, Ian, we know what, how, and why. The what goal gives us the outcome. The how goal gives us the process. And the why goal gives us our motivation. I think most of us are starting to understand this. Outcomes, if we focus on outcomes. So in that video, it was when they talk of intelligence, more like the grade that you're going to get. If you focus on the grade that you're going to get, as opposed to the effort that you put in attempting to get that grade, that's where the danger lies. And the world around you, I said it already, coaches, teachers, parents, friends, social media, it's often going to pull you here. It's often going to try and get you to focus on the outcome. And as a teenager, as a young child, if you're focusing on outcomes because they are low control, this can equal stress. So hopefully most of you are like, yes, Ian, we know this, we know this. At KOHR Golf, we don't want you to be stressed. We don't want you to focus on the things that are low control, because that creates stress and that creates an unhappy person and that creates not the best golfer that you can be. So what we want you to do is we want you to focus on how, because that's the process and that's high control. And as a human being, if you feel in control, you will be relaxed. So we might want to identify our outcomes. I want to get A grades and I want to win a hurricane event. But when you talk to yourself, if you miss out on those outcomes, don't be telling yourself that you suck. Don't be telling yourself that you're never going to make it. Don't be telling yourself these negative things that can often occur. Be praising yourself for the effort level that you put into that. Because if you continually put effort in, it might take a month, it might take a year, it might take 3 years, but eventually you'll get as close as you possibly can, or you'll even hit those outcomes that you desire. So that's a great video to help you start shaping maybe this area of your vision board a little bit more. Because remember, we covered this in week 1, and all of you in week 2 who've attended, you should have started to collate pictures for the outcomes that you want and the processes that are going to take you there. Now, my expectation, I would love to see in some shape or form in the process pictures as part of your vision board, I would love to see the word effort, or I would love to see you extract a message from that video or from this overall call that I'm giving and have an image of that on your vision board. Maybe it's self-talk. Maybe it's the word effort. Maybe it's the word process. Something that resonates with you about how are you going to keep talking to yourself in a positive way and live here, even when we're not getting the outcomes we desire. We have to live here every day. And a big part of that is how we talk to ourselves. And a big part of that is going to be redefining our success. Success at KOHR Golf is not if you achieve the outcomes. It's the level of effort that you put in. So hopefully, by the time we all come to week 3 of the winter coaching, I would hope that you're all going to turn up with lots of pictures, vision boards starting to form, pictures of outcomes that you want, and pictures of processes that you're going to use to take you there. And then when we're in the classroom on Sunday, what we're going to look at, we're going to focus a little bit more in this area, the why part of the goal setting process and the motivation. And we're going to look at the differences between intrinsic or internal and extrinsic or external motivators. But that's for the classroom on Sunday. Prior to that, I want everyone to have got the images of what they want and how they're going to get it. Pictures collated for their vision boards. And as you do it every day, try and resonate with that message that we've just seen from the Carol Dweck video of having a growth mindset and praising yourself. Ignore everything in the world around you that's pulling you to those outcomes and praise yourself. Be proud of yourself for the effort levels that you put in. Before we finish, And this is a bonus video for you guys that have attended the call. I'll share my screen again. This is probably my favorite video related to effort. So this is from an NFL footballer, and he goes into the changing room, an ex-NFL footballer. This footballer was a real big player in his time, a guy called Ray Lewis. I only got familiar with him through his motivational work, and then I looked back on his career, because when I arrived in the USA, I think he was coming more towards the end of his career. But he was a very, very fierce defender. And listen to what he talks about. His mindset, he disassociates himself with the outcome, and the way he talks to himself, he really values effort. And now he's trying to relay that speech to obviously an Ivy League. He's trying to relay that message to an Ivy League basketball team through this speech. So really listen to this. Once I've played this, I'll end the recording. And if anyone has any questions about the Carol Dweck video, this video, about vision boards, I'll stay on the line. I'll stay in the Zoom room to be able to answer anyone's questions.
Yeah, it's recorded, so you have to listen with Kai later.
I can't thank you guys for the opportunity. Let me tell you something. If tomorrow wasn't promised, what would you give for today? Forget everything else. Forget everything else. Forget that there was any sunlight left. What would you spend today thinking about? Yourself or the man that's beside you? Or the man that you know you give everything in your heart for? We get one opportunity in life, one chance in life to do whatever you're gonna do, to lay your foundation, to make whatever mark you're gonna make, whatever legacy you're gonna leave your legacy. And it's found through effort. Wins and losses come a dime a dozen. But effort, nobody can judge effort. Because effort is between you and you. Effort ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. So that team that think they're ready to see you, they think what they seen on film, they saw what film shows. Because every day is a new day. Every moment is a new moment. So now you got to go out and show them that I'm a different creature now than I was 5 minutes ago. Because I'm pissed off for greatness. Because if you ain't pissed off for greatness, that means you're okay with being mediocre.
Okay, so I'm going to stop the recording, but just to very quickly review, please take the academia from Carol Dweck's research, understand how important it is that you praise yourself. This is not about other people. This is not about teachers or coaches or parents. This is about you. You praise yourself for your efforts, and you attempt to disassociate yourself with the outcome. Take that, apply it into the what and the how goals that you're putting on your vision board. Take Ray Lewis's message of wins and losses come a dime a dozen, but effort is what really counts. Take that, apply that into your vision board, and take what we've been discussing on the Sunday sessions at KOHR. Really start to apply that into your what and how goals, and hopefully when you turn up on the weekend, you'll be quite far along with your vision board, and we can start looking at the why portion. So I'm gonna stop the recording, and then everyone's free to leave. Thanks for jumping in. But if anyone has any questions, please, you can